Howdy toddy everybody, this is Tommy with Colonel Reb Scale Models coming at you with my August update for the bench, I guess. It's been probably a month since I posted a video, and you know, I've had several of you guys out there send me PMs asking where I was at, if I was still alive, what I was doing. And simply it's just, you know, it's summertime, a lot of stuff going on. You know, the kids are home. My wife has traveled some. We've traveled, obviously, a lot. And since coming back from visiting my family for a couple of weeks, since then, it's just kind of been hard to get to the bench. You know, trying to keep the kids entertained, which is, you know, when you got 3, it's not easy during the summertime. They'd already done all their camps and everything like that, so that was out of the way. So it's just kind of keeping them entertained. You know, like I said, with my wife traveling, it sometimes you know, just gets difficult. And then I actually had some problems with my airbrush, the one that I use primarily, which is the Pache single action, and just had difficulties with that one. I have one single action one, a cheapo, that I use just for spraying the future on, and then I had an old Badger, I think 350, that I had back from the late 90s when I'd gotten back into the hobby more at that point before getting out of it again. So you know, I got them cleaned up, and then, you know, some of the older ones, some of the seals cracked, so then I had to go through the process of going online, finding those, getting them sent. And by the time that started working itself out, because I was getting ready to put paint on the Sopwith Camel and on my dad's 62 Chevrolet, the 409, and you know, I just noticed it was doing some spattering. So I had, I think, maybe some needle issues. I'm not sure. I think I've got it figured out now, but we'll see. I haven't tried it since getting some of the parts replaced on some of the O-rings. And I did get a smaller needle for one of them to maybe try to do some detailing work with some of these upcoming military builds. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, about that time, you know, my son and I went on a 3-day camping trip with the Cub Scouts, so that was fun. He caught his first fish ever, which was really cool. And actually, the first thing he actually caught was a turtle about this big that, you know, once he couldn't get it in, I tried to get over there and help him drag it in because I thought he was hung on something, and then I realized there was something actually on it. And then, I mean, his little pole was just bent over like this, and I only had 6-pound test line on it. So I got the turtle out of the water maybe 6 or 8 inches, and it was just hung. I mean, it was caught really good, so it wasn't coming out. The hook wasn't, so it wound up just snapping the line and going on. So a couple days later, he finally caught his first little brim. You know, it's probably, you know, this long maybe, sitting on top of a brim bed, literally watching the fish bite the lure. So, but he was thrilled, so that was good. So got back, and then after that, we had some cousins on my wife's side from Colombia. They came. They were twins, about I think 11 or 12-year-old girls. And they were coming to the States. They'd been to Miami, been to New Orleans. They were coming here to stay with us because they've been staying with family, trying to learn, practice their English, I guess you'd say. So they were coming here as their last stop for their total immersion, considering only my wife speaks Spanish in the house. I can understand some, but yeah. So we, you know, forced them to talk English almost all the time, which they take classes back there. So they're on their break at school, so they're back in Miami now. They just left this past Saturday. So with them here, you know, we were doing the sightseeing, taking them places, going to Six Flags, going to different places to entertain them, taking them to the movies, you know, going to the mall, all that kind of every day, trying to keep them entertained. You know, going to the local parks, you know, riding their scooters, their bicycles, rollerblading, all that kind of stuff. So that took some time. And then honestly, while they were here, you know, the kids, being summer, they weren't going to bed till 11:30, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, which is unusual for us. But my kids, which now they go to bed at 8:30 because they're in school, but you know, staying up with them and watching movies. And then me and my wife and her cousin, who's about our age, who lives in Miami, that came with the girls, we were up playing every night, playing cards. That because in my wife's home back in Peru and in Colombia, where she has other family, they're big on playing cards, and we play a version of a card game they play down there. So we were playing that 2 and 3 games every night. So that kind of kept me away from the bench. And you know, by this time you go to bed 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not gonna get any bench time. So I kind of said to myself, once my wife goes out of town, which they all left on Saturday, she's in Brazil, flew today to Argentina, so she won't be back until Monday. You know, I said the week while she's gone or so, I'm going to try to get caught up and do as much as I can. Of course, for the first few nights, you know, I've been away from the bench so long, it's just kind of hard to get yourself motivated to come back. So once I did, with the help of a couple of kits that I just recently picked up, that are totally different genres from what I usually do, just to get something completed. Again, you know, with these group builds I'm working on, you just kind of get almost finished and then you just kind of bog down. You know, it's like a tractor pull. When the tractor gets almost to the finish line and the weight just pulls all the way to the front, and it just slows them down. So I just needed something to kind of get me back going. So I've completed those. I've done videos for those, and I'll be posting those after I post this one. I'm trying not to spam the channel. I'll try to separate them out day to day. But I wanted to focus on Michael's Battle for Curse group build, which ends on the 23rd. Okay, fellas, back. Had to answer the phone. That was the wife calling. Our 10-year anniversary is tomorrow, so she's with actually her mother and father flew to Argentina also today, so they're getting together and they're gonna celebrate our 10-year anniversary, and then we'll celebrate doing something here. So I've got my anniversary tomorrow. I've got my birthday on Sunday, my son's birthday next Friday. So I've been planning his party. It looks like we're going to Chuck E. Cheese and getting the invitations sent out and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, getting back to Michael's Curse group build. So I got started on my 72nd scale Tiger 1 by Revell. Got started on it, got the hull put together, the turret, did some work on the gun, the muzzle, you know, getting all the seam lines off of it as best I can. It's really small. I mean, the kit's like this big, you know. It's not even as big as this card right here that I got all my notes on that I've got to talk about. So it's a tiny thing. I haven't, I'm going to work tonight on the road wheels, and then I'll do the tracks after that. And again, you know, what I want to do is get the body built, minus the road wheels and the track, and then, you know, put the primer on it and then go from there with the coloring and stuff. So hopefully that'll be my test bed for whether or not my airbrushes are back to working right. I know one of them should work. If I have to use that one, since they're all single action, the ones I'm talking about anyway, you know, I'll do that. I can always go and use my dual action if need be, but I think that should be fine. So I'll just use my craft acrylics again on that. So I want to focus on that, getting that finished before the 23rd, which is when he has said that he's going to stop posting videos, not necessarily completely coming away or going away from the YouTube community, just because of it's just too much on him. And I can totally understand that, because sometimes you do kind of feel like, I've got to get this done, I got to get that done, I got to make these videos, you know, answering comments and things like that. I think I still have to go back and answer comments from last month on one of my last updates, I think on the recce build for Andy Tactical Jackalope. So things like that, you want to do this as a fun channel, because you want to share your work. Because honestly, most people, when they see your stuff, you know, they say, oh, that's cool, that's nice, it's really, you know, blah blah blah, but they don't really understand what we actually go through in creating it. I guess that happens with anybody that's considered any type of artist or anything like that. Not that I would say that my modeling is artistry, but hopefully at some point I'll get to that level. But anyway, getting back to his group build, get that one done and get pictures sent to him so he can do his slideshow before the end of the month. And then, you know, it's going to be sad to have him go, because he's such a great builder. He's so involved in the community, but he's still going to be involved with the forums and things like that. So because I know I've sent him messages and sent him questions and stuff, he's been very helpful. So some of the stuff I'm going to be doing on this tank and on the previous builds, you know, I learned from him as well. So got to do that. Again, the Follow the Right group build, I'm almost finished with that sub man, it's just like an albatross around my neck. But I just want to try to get the weathering a little bit better. It's just kind of hard since it's such a small scale, but I want to touch it up. I want to do it right. I mean, and then I want to try to put a little base on it to make it look okay. That one, I'm still working on Jim Parashaka's Italian front group build with the Fiat. I just ran across some snags on it, and it just kind of aggravated me to the point where I kind of pushed it back. I know I'm past the cutoff point for that one, but I want to get that one done. I've got an idea on how to do it on the display, so I think that's going to work out. It just may take me a little bit longer than what I thought, but that one should have long been done. And then I've got to work on Frankie Day's historical aircraft group build with the Wright Flyer. I've got an update of sorts coming, but not quite, because I haven't really started the kit. But I've enjoyed watching my fellow buddy builder in this one, Vincent Weston, who did the Wright Flyer, the same one I have, except it's an earlier version, much older version, and he just did some phenomenal stuff on it, detail and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to go as far detailed as what he did, because I do have 2 kits, so I may get this one built and then do just weathering on it, and then maybe work on the other one at some point, and then do some of the stuff like Vince did and some of the stuff that the diorama shows, although I did want to try to do the diorama, so I'm still kind of worried about that, working on that one. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do. So I got that, and then of course working on my dad's car. So since that's black, I know black is very hard to paint on a car, so I want to try to get the body right. I got it smooth. The kit was really nice. I got it smoothed down and in primer, so it's just when I started to go back with the airbrushes when I started having those problems. So then that kind of pushed that one back. It's actually still sitting in my paint booth from when I started practicing with the, checking the paint thickness and stuff, and then I started seeing the problem with the splattering and stuff. Just a couple of shout outs to the fellows that have having what I call Google screw you tube, because ever since this thing started with Google Plus, it seems like it's just been a nightmare with YouTube. With Dan, who's now had to recreate his channel, Papa Dan's Models 2, like Chris Chapman did 2. Who's back, he's loading them back up, and then Larry Daly has recreated his channel. I think it's LD's Scale Model Shops or Speed Shop or something like that. I can't remember, Larry, sorry, but I just wanted to throw it out there for you guys. And then Shelton with SRoth 88, and I think he's trying to recreate his channel, or I don't know if he's going to had started it. I know he lost everything, and he had tons of videos, and I don't know if, like, I saved a lot of them, so I wonder if they still show up in mine too. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works with all that kind of stuff. Just a couple of other little things. Fast Jimmy did a video the other day about the drama in the community, and I guess he's had some issues with a fellow builder, and that builder not being very nice, I guess you would say, on the channel. But I thought he did a very good video trying to bury the hatchet, get it all out of the way, because we don't need that in the community. I mean, I've only been in the community for about a year, and I haven't really come across any drama. Maybe it's just because I'm not in the loop of some of these things, or I don't know as many people for as long. But I have heard from others that they've had drama issues with some of the builders, and I guess, I don't know if it's egos. I don't know what is involved, but I just can't imagine there should even be any type of drama in a community where all we're doing is trying to help each other, encourage each other, and I just don't see how that comes to be. But we're dealing with people, so as long as you got people. Let me see what else. A lot of new members coming into the community, so I've subscribed to a lot of new ones as I see them and stuff. Some of them are starting to post videos, which is great. I know Chevy Cheeseburger, I'm not going to say your real name, has been really pushing the last week or two to get people's videos out. I personally am so far behind watching videos, it's pitiful after the last 3+ weeks almost of not watching as much. Now I have been watching some and posting comments, because I try to post comments every time I watch a video. So what I've done is when I would get one in my inbox, or I'd come across my subs and see somebody, I would watch their video, and then I would go back to their channel to see if they've posted any previous ones and try to catch up for those, to try to get caught up at least on that one builder before I went jumping around from builder to builder, which is hard and kind of keep track of. And honestly, I have so many subscribers that I subscribe to, which is why my subscribers on my channel or at the level of where they are, because I think it's just a mutual consent where if I subscribe to them, they're going to subscribe to me. And I try to watch them because I like to see the different things that everybody does, but there has been a lot of new ones coming in, so I'm getting inundated with some of those, and I'm trying to watch those as much as I can to support them. And it gets, like Michael says, it just gets so much. You get taxed just to try to watch them, and every time you watch 2, 5 or 6 more load in. So it's just been tough. Let's see. College football season starting, pro football season starting, so I don't know how much bench time I'm gonna get there, but I'm trying to commit to get these group builds done. So I'm gonna do what I can. If I go past the deadlines, I go past the deadlines, but I'm gonna have fun doing them and get them posted and stuff. So I think this video's kind of running long, and my battery light's about to go. My battery's starting to flash. So anyway, keep those styrene dreams alive, guys, and remember, dream it, build it, share it. And as always, hotty toddy, and God bless.